What's up, nerd family? Welcome once again to the Poindexter Lounge. My name is Enosh, aka Enosh Vet, and man, some news just dropped. And of course, everybody knows that we are big DC fans around here, so we have to share that. Hey, first of all, if this is your first time to the lounge, just know this: the Poindexter Lounge is a place for nerds. It's a place where you and me can get together and talk about all the things that we love, be it TV shows, games, movies, sci-fi, fantasy, toys, and so much more. Superheroes, all this great stuff. If that's the kind of stuff that you love, then please consider hitting that subscribe button and that notifications bell so that you're around for when we talk about this stuff, because we are just a bunch of nerds around here that just love this stuff. So look, news just dropped, and I'll tell you what, if this wasn't a big enough week already, look at my Mandalorian shirt. I'm going to be uploading a video later. Wicked Steve sent us a bunch of early Christmas gifts, including this Mandalorian shirt, which is awesome in every way, and that's a big story all of its own. But it was just announced that The Rock, Dwayne The Rock Johnson, just announced the release date for Black Adam. I am so super stoked for this. We're talking December of 2021. So we got 2 years until we see Black Adam. Now this is going to be interesting because Black Adam is going to be a precursor to the next Shazam movie. So there's going to be a Shazam movie, I guess, and then also this Black Adam movie, and then a third kind of Shazam movie where they bring Black Adam into it. The Black Adam movie will serve as a backstory for his role with the wizard and with the power of Shazam, as they allude to in the Shazam movie. And then there will be a proper Shazam sequel movie, I guess, some point in that time frame. And then, of course, once those are done, they're going to introduce Black Adam into the Shazam universe. Now, I'm sure that at first they'll have some kind of rivalry, there'll be some kind of issues there. But of course, we know Darla said in Shazam. Let me get this. I got a little bit of white forehead going on here. Okay, that's a little bit better. Darla said in Shazam that they were going to love whoever was supposed to fill out that seventh seat. And so I'm looking forward to see how they do this. Now, Dwayne The Rock Johnson released a statement on Twitter about this. And I'm going to go ahead and read that to you guys right now. You can find this on Twitter. Dwayne The Rock Johnson has finally released a first look at what he will look like as the DC Comics anti-hero of Black Adam. Now that is in the thumbnail. Also, we'll release that here on the channel via a post later of what he will look like as Black Adam. And it looks like it was made by Jim Lee. It's signed by Jim Lee. So that's kind of cool that they got Jim Lee to do the artwork on that. But now we see what exactly The Rock will look like as Black Adam, and that's pretty cool. So it says, the movie seems to have been in development forever, and that's true. Boy, this movie is taking forever to get off the ground, but I'm glad that it finally is moving forward. It says, but it is scheduled to begin production over the summer of 2020 before hitting theaters in December of 2021. Now, I'm really excited about this because a lot of people have thought that this movie wasn't going to happen. They had pretty much given up on this movie, that this movie was not going to actually take place. And it's really cool that now The Rock has stayed with us. You know, I got to give it to The Rock because I'm not a big fan of The Rock. And I know that's not really a popular opinion. I was a big wrestling fan, and I was never really a big Rock fan when he was wrestling, even, to be quite honest with you. There's something that just didn't connect with me. But I love his work ethic. I love the fact that this has been a character that and we're going to read this in just a second, he's had a lot of love for this character and wanted to see this through to its conclusion, and that's awesome. I love it when I see people like that really get behind a character. You think of people like Hugh Jackman, who just saw that thing out, man. Like, for all those years that Hugh Jackman was Wolverine, he stuck with it. He, good movies, bad movies, it didn't matter. Mediocre movies, it didn't matter to him. He was Wolverine, and I got to give a lot of credit to people like that who become these characters, who want to be these characters and want to embody these characters and stick with them. I think of people like Henry Cavill. You know, you can love him, hate him, whatever, you know, and what he's been given as Superman, but you got to admit that the guy loves Superman. He gets it. He's living it. He's breathing it. He named his dog Kal-El even, you know. I mean, so when you see things like that, you see that these people really care about these characters. So I love that about The Rock, that he really cares about the character of Black Adam. And that's what you want as a fan. You want people who really care about these characters and want to do it justice. No pun intended. Says now fans have their first look at Johnson in the role via a concept art design from digital artist Boss Logic and DC Comics artist Jim Lee. So that is Jim Lee who did that. Johnson shared the image on Instagram, sharing his enthusiasm for the character and comic book and the movies which they have been spawning. Now this is these are his words and what Dwayne The Rock Johnson has to say about the movie going forward. It says, like most kids growing up, I dreamed about being a superhero, having cool superpowers, fighting for what's right, always protecting the people, Johnson wrote in the post. It all changed for me when I was 10 years old and was first introduced to the greatest superhero of all time, Superman. Okay, first of all, Dwayne Johnson just went up a level for me because for him to talk about Superman that way is just a big deal. I love Superman, and that's awesome. So, Superman. As a kid, Superman was the hero I always wanted to be, but a few years into my fantasy, I realized that Superman was the hero I could never be. I was too rebellious, too rambunctious, too resistant to convention and authority. Despite my troubles, I was still a good kid with a good heart. I just liked to do things my way. Now, years later, as a man with the same DNA I had as a kid, my superhero dreams have come true. I'm honored to join the iconic DC universe, and it's a true pleasure to become Black Adam. That's really cool. You can hear his passion for the character there. You can hear his passion for comic books, for these DC characters. You know, there's been a lot of talk about Marvel trying to coax The Rock over to do one of their properties. So I'm really glad to see that they were able to get Dwayne to do this movie, to be a part of this movie, and to keep with it like this. That like he has not given up on this project, no matter what has happened. He has not given up on this project in any way. He has fought for it when other people have acted like it was never going to happen, that it was never going to transpire. He has come back and said, nope, it's going to happen. We're going to make it happen. I'm going to stick to this. I'm going to play this character. He produced Shazam. He helped produce Shazam and got that movie going so that he could actually bring this character to life. So that's just really cool, and I'm really glad to hear that from him. But what do you guys think? I'm really curious to hear what you guys think about this whole thing finally happening. That we finally have gotten this confirmation. I want to know what you guys have to say about that. Are you guys excited to see The Rock as Black Adam? You know, I talked to somebody just this last week that actually said that they did not like the Shazam movie, that they didn't care for it. But when I was talking to them about the fact that, you know, Dwayne Johnson was supposed to play Black Adam and that they were going to end up connecting those two things, they said to me, you know, now that I'm interested in, and I'm interested in seeing how that relates to these other characters now, you know, as they go forward. So I think this might actually bring in some people who maybe weren't so sold on Shazam. Now, for me, Shazam was a great movie. I loved Shazam. I thought it was a great family-friendly movie that did what it needed to do. It introduced those characters. It definitely showed the combination of the childlikeness of Billy Batson along with the adult of Shazam, and combining those two things, it was what we all thought it was going to be. It was big with superpowers, and that's pretty cool. But now to see that they're moving forward with the Black Adam movie, and how do they introduce Black Adam in there? You know, I mean, we got a little taste of him. There's a little snippet there in the Shazam movie that actually talks about Black Adam without actually mentioning his name, but you can see it. It looks like, you know, Dwayne Johnson. It's meant to look like Dwayne Johnson because honestly, there's some characters that some people were just meant to play. Ryan Reynolds was meant to play Deadpool, right? Like we can all agree with that. He was just meant to play that character. I think that Black Adam is one of those characters for Dwayne Johnson. that this was a character that he was meant to play. He's got the personality, he's got the smoldering attitude and look, he's got the body type, he's got all those things that Black Adam should be. If anybody was going to play Black Adam, it should definitely be The Rock, hands down. And so I'm pretty excited for this, but I want to know what you guys have to say. I want to know what you guys think of this. You guys are being kind of quiet. I see some of you coming in here into the stream, and I would love to have a conversation with you. I'd love to hear what you guys think about this. Are you guys excited about The Rock joining this? Actually, not joining it, but getting it off the ground finally. Like we know that they're going to start production next year. And now we have a release date of December of 2021. December has become a huge movie release time now. It didn't used to be, wasn't used to be that we didn't get these big movies before. Now we're getting these big budget movies, and I'm really excited about this. Russ says, don't know much about Black Adam, but it would be interesting for The Rock to play a villain. So it's interesting because so you say you don't know much about Black Adam. So Black Adam as a character, he's been a villain in the past, definitely been a villain. In present time, they've kind of played him more as an anti-hero. So there are times where he does stuff that's kind of like what The Rock is alluding to here in the statement that we read. If you were in, Russ, for that time where we talked about that, he talks about, like, he loved Superman, but he was a rebellious kid, so he knew that he could never be Superman. And so there were those things. He was a rebellious kid. He did his own thing. He got in trouble, all those things. And that's kind of Black Adam's thing. Is Black Adam, he got the powers of Shazam, but unfortunately, he still wanted to do his own thing. He still was very controlling. He still was basically The Rock. He had that attitude, right? And so but he's now been played like an anti-hero. So there's times where he does things that you could say were bad guy qualities, were villain qualities, but they've played him more now that he's kind of misunderstood, that he just kind of makes bad decisions sometimes, but that really he's good at heart, and in the end he makes a good decision, he makes good choices, and kind of comes alongside the heroes from afar and does, and helps them when needed. But he's not volunteering his time, and that's why if you saw the Shazam movie, they had in that deleted scene where they're all sitting around and there's 7 thrones, and they say, well, wait a second, there's not 7 of us. Who's that 7th person? And they say, well, whoever that 7th person is going to be somebody special, and we're going to love them. That is Black Adam, because Black Adam is the next piece of that puzzle of the Shazam family that brings them all together. And so I definitely think it's going to be interesting to see The Rock, like you said, kind of play a more villain role, because if this is his origin story, we're definitely going to see that villain part of Black Adam. And that's cool. We're going to see him make bad decisions and bad choices. Who's going to be there to take down Black Adam? Who is going to be is Black Adam just going to be an anti-hero in this, or is going to be more the villain that turns good? Who's going to be the hero that they place in there? Will it be maybe the Wizard Shazam? There's a thought for you right there. The guy who plays that, he's been known to play characters in the Marvel universe, and then he came over to play the Wizard Shazam for the movie Shazam. And so it'll be interesting. Like maybe they show him in a younger capacity and able to fight Black Adam and maybe take him down, from whatever he's doing in the movie. But I'm excited about it. It's a DC property. It's got a big star associated with it, and not just a big star, but somebody who cares about the property. And that's what I said earlier. The Rock, love him, hate him, whatever. I've not been a big fan of The Rock over the years, but the guy cares about this character. He cares about this property, and he wants to see it through to the end. And he has fought for it when other people have acted like it wasn't going to happen, and have said as much and reported as much that they didn't think it was going to happen. He has stuck with it, and he has not let it go. And you got to give the man props for that. Yes, NYC Custom, absolutely, man. I give it up to the man, because because not everybody feels that way. You know, and especially in the world that we live in, a lot of roles are just roles to these actors, and I hate that because I feel like you look at like Jennifer Lawrence as Mystique in the X-Men movies. Um, you know, you could tell that Jennifer Lawrence just really didn't care about playing Mystique. You know, she may have cared a little bit in the first one that she was in. I loved First Class. First Class, I thought was a great movie overall. Probably one of my favorite X Men movies, to be quite honest with you. Besides Logan, if you count that a X Men movie. What's up, Arctic Conquest? I also saw a couple more. Derek, what's up? About time. But before Shazam released, I screenshotted him on the casting. There we go. And yeah, what's up, guys? I'll tell you what, Russ. I could definitely see. I don't know about Bane. I wouldn't really want to see The Rock as Bane because Bane is actually Hispanic, and so I would rather somebody of the correct ethnicity for the character actually play Bane. But I can definitely see Darth Bane. If they ever do a Knights of Republic thing and they bring in Darth Bane, I would be cool with that. I would be all right with The Rock playing Darth Bane. I think that would be actually probably a good fit. But there's a lot of dialogue, and that's the only place that The Rock loses me sometimes is when he has a lot of dialogue because you know he's got his shtick. I mean, let's admit it. The Rock has his thing, you know, and he kind of plays the same character in every movie. The good thing about this is it's just like Ryan Reynolds. Like I said, Ryan Reynolds was born to play Deadpool, but Ryan Reynolds didn't really change up his style to be Deadpool. That's still, right? That's still Ryan Reynolds playing Deadpool. He's still playing Ryan Reynolds playing whatever character he's playing. So that's why, like when we watched Pikachu, Detective Pikachu, right? It was hilarious. But it sounded like a tamed down uh, Deadpool. You know, the little comebacks and the little snarky things, because that's Ryan Reynolds. He's always had that, and so The Rock is very similar to that. And The Rock has his shtick. He always kind of has that thing, you know, that he does. And yeah, and that's the thing is, unlike Green Lantern, Green Lantern didn't have that, right? Uh, he didn't have that snarkiness. So that was the only thing that kind of pulled me out of the Green Lantern movie. That and a couple of that and the villains. I didn't think the villains were good. I thought that they should have done something better and maybe not wasted so much time. I mean, it was just wow. Arctic Conquest says he just saw Ryan Reynolds' Green Lantern for the first time today. Wow. So you know what? I don't have a problem with the Green Lantern movie as a whole. Honestly, I know that that's not a popular opinion. I seem to have like a lot of unpopular opinions with the movies that I like, and I've been accused of, oh, you like everything. I don't like everything, but like I see things as a whole, right? So when I look at the Green Lantern movie as a whole, I like it. Um, yeah, exactly. Arctic Conquest. Like they should have done the movie different, but I didn't hate it. Uh, it was I did not like Parallax because Parallax was actually Hal Jordan later on, right? So Parallax should not have been this. To me, it looked like a giant fart bubble. That's just what it looked like to me. I'm sorry. That's what he appeared as. And then uh, uh, Dr. Hector, I can't think of his last name right now. But his big head thing, it looked like bad makeup. It looked uncomfortable. And not in a good way, right? It just you like that, Derek? The fart bubble. Um, yeah, and so it made me feel uncomfortable. Plus, I felt like what they should have done is made Hector a uh, a lower villain for the beginning of the movie, right? That did something that had to get everybody together, but set up for Sinestro to be able to train Hal for them to become friends, and then for the last part of the movie, for it to be Sinestro turning on the Green Lantern Corps and stuff. Because man, what a stinger at the end for him to put on that yellow ring, actually realize Sinestro in the yellow outfit, and everything, and then we're never gonna see that come to pass. And I hate that when these movies they don't utilize like the main villains of a character, and so they put it off to like, well, maybe we'll get around to that villain at some point. Um, but sometimes that sequel never comes because you didn't put enough into the original movie, and so that's always a bummer, you know. But like I said, as a movie as a whole, I thought it was good. I thought there were a lot of really good parts of Green Lantern that worked. I don't understand everybody's complaints about that his constructs with his ring didn't work, because like he's a guy, man. He's a dude. Of course he's going to make a Hot Wheel track or the F-16s, because he flies F-16s and he's a fighter pilot. That's what he does. So he's going to do those things that come to mind that way. But I don't know what to tell people when they just, but we all know, and we've talked about it enough here on the channel, that people, if they can hate about something, they will hate about something just for the sake of hating about it. I want to get to a couple other comments here before we get going. But yeah, I agree, Russ. Basically, that whole discussion started off of your comment about Bane or Darth Bane. I do think it's going to be interesting to see him take on Shazam. Doing good, Arctic Conquest. I like it. NYC Custom says, that's true. The Rock talking too much is a no-no. Yeah, he can do the eyebrow thing and, do his thing, but we don't want him talking too much, because he's just kind of the same with a lot of his dialogue. Isn't Tom Cruise playing Green Lantern? So, that's an interesting question. We actually did a video about that. Man, it's been almost a year ago now, because that was a rumor that just would not die for the longest time, guys. That rumor would not die, but I haven't heard anything about that rumor in quite a while. And now, honestly, I don't think that they're going to probably move forward with a Green Lantern movie anytime soon, because now they got this Green Lantern show coming to HBO Max. And so if that's what they're going to do, that apparently is what they're setting up, that the HBO Max series will actually one day cross over into the DCEU. And I find that interesting that they've actually admitted that already, because usually a TV show doesn't do that, right? A TV show doesn't go towards the movies. So I'm interested in how they're going to set that up and what exactly they plan on doing with that whole setup. But I'm definitely interested. I'm definitely interested to see what they're going to do there. But I don't think that Tom Cruise is going to be playing Green Lantern. I think that might be gone now, and I don't think that they're going to have any immediate plans for an immediate version of Green Lantern in the theater anytime soon, which is a bummer, because I think a lot of us were really hoping for a Green Lantern movie to come about sometime soon. But we're obviously not going to get that, I think, right away. Really, Russ? Well, I hadn't heard anything about like it leaving the CW. I don't know. I haven't heard anything about it leaving the CW. Honestly, I've watched 2 episodes. It's been one of those things. It's on my DVR. It's kind of there. I actually don't hate it. I don't love it though either. It's one of those shows. I know there's a lot of people who really just hate it, but I don't hate it, and I didn't find it to be as bad as I thought it was going to be. Like, I didn't find it to be the man-hating thing that I thought it was going to be. I felt that they may have reined that back a little bit, but yeah, I don't know. I gotta get through it. I gotta get through these next few episodes for sure. But we'll see. Yeah, more on the Green Lantern stuff. Yeah, I think we all are pretty much in agreement of the Green Lantern stuff. So, yeah, HBO Max is definitely trying to pick up content. I'm still frustrated about that though, because I feel like I pay every month for DC Universe. when I see what Disney just did and how Disney uh, went and put out this streaming service that's just absolutely amazing, and it's all their content, man. It's all there. Why and this just goes to show that Warner Brothers and DC, well, I don't know, is it, I think it's more Warner Brothers than it is DC itself. Um, Warner Brothers just doesn't seem to have a clue of how to proceed. Disney puts something out, they put everything on. They recall all of their properties. They cancel all these popular properties on Netflix, even all their Marvel shows on Netflix. Cancel them. Absolutely cancel them. And everybody thinks, boy, that's a bad move because they're they're gonna destroy it. And then all of a sudden, what do? They put this streaming service together that's going to make everybody extremely happy. It's made everybody extremely happy. They've got over something like 14 million, or no, I'm sorry, 14. There was like 10 million subscribers in the first day alone. They did it well. And then you got DC that puts out the DC universe. They're struggling to find people to get the DC universe. Anyways, I have the DC universe, but they started doing that, and then what happens? They start announcing that they're going to start putting stuff on this other streaming service, this HBO Max. What's up with that? I don't get that. That does not make any sense to me. That frustrates me because what am I paying for? I thought that I was paying for a service that was all things DC, and you're going to start developing shows for other streaming services? No, that does not make me a happy man at all. Russ says talking about Batwoman has got a lot of problems, but not so much with SJW garbage. Yeah, it's just got problems. But I'm not seeing like all the SJW stuff that you see, like say on Supergirl. Supergirl is just rife with that stuff. But Batwoman, amazingly, where you would think that it would be, is not. Disney should buy DC. You know what? I know that that's a joke, but I don't want I don't want Disney to buy DC just because I don't want Disney to own everything. And I don't know if if Disney ever were to buy DC, I don't think that they would do something stupid like combine the universes, with Marvel or something like that. I don't think that we would see anything like that. I think that they would keep it separate. I hate to say it. I really hate to say it because there's the purest part of me that says no to that, because the same company that owns Marvel should not own DC, right? It's like I don't want Disney to own Star Trek either, because I like Star Trek and I love Star Wars. I don't want the two to be owned by the same company. But then again, Disney has a great track record, though, of being able to operate these other companies under their name. Like when you get DC Plus, you see that there's Disney, Pixar, right? Star Wars, Marvel, National Geographic. It's got all these Fox things. Now they got The Simpsons. I've been rewatching The Simpsons, guys, this week. I haven't watched The Simpsons in forever. But it's right there, and it's nice. It's nice that I could just put it on. So I'm like almost all the way through season 1 of The Simpsons already. Like, it's crazy. So it's all there. Could it possibly work? They could possibly put somebody in charge of it that actually would treat it with justice, because I'll be honest with you, Warner Brothers just doesn't seem to get it. Warner Brothers is never going to let it go, though. I mean, they're never going to give up DC ever. It's just not going to happen. They would have to go out of business before they would give it up. And to be quite honest with you, they just don't know what to do with it. They make horrible decisions regarding DC properties sometimes, and so you know what? So Russ, actually, they're not censoring it. So that's what I was told too, that it was being censored. that the content was being censored, like stuff like Dumbo and other things. But that's not what they've chosen to do. They're actually showing the movies uncensored, but they put disclaimers before the movie that talk about the fact that these movies, these cartoons, these things were made in a different time, in a different era, when these things were socially acceptable then, but they were wrong back then and they're wrong today. And you know what? That is a great thing. You know, like I can accept that because yeah, the whole thing with that, I did not want to see that all of a sudden we start whitewashing history where like, oh, these things didn't happen. I don't think that you can do that. So Russ, I've actually been pleasantly surprised that that is not what they've done, because that was the rumor for a long time that that's what they were going to do, but they have not done that. The crows are still in Dumbo. The language is still there. Like I said, the only thing is they put disclaimers, and I'm fine with that. Actually, I'm okay with that. I want to address a couple of things real quick. First of all, Wicked Steve, check this out. So when I get done with this, I already got the video uploaded. I just gotta hit publish, but I needed to go live with this video first. Wicked Steve sent the Poindexter Lounge, sent me and my family a bunch of gifts for Christmas, and this is one of them. And Steve, you will see my reaction in that video, dude. I lose my mind. Like, you can see it all over my face. I even did a close-up of it because it was hilarious. Because I was not expecting this. I had not even seen a Mandalorian shirt. And to have it literally like 2 days after after that, hey, NYC Custom, hit me up, man. If you want to send something to the channel, I will hit me up, message me either through here or oh wow, that's awesome. You do custom repaints of figures. Hey, if you guys have seen, like, I will do shout outs all day long. I just did a whole new series. I'm doing a whole new series about fans of the channel and stuff. I just did one for Bruce Jennings, who actually makes new toys. He does Star Wars repros and fixes stuff. And I did a whole hour-long video. You guys can find this on the channel. It was awesome. Bruce is a great guy. I encourage you guys, if you love Star Wars, go to his channel. He's got he's not his channel, he's got an eBay store, but he's also on Facebook. All the links are in the description in that video. You can hit him up. He's got these cool new figures, guys, where he's created vintage Star Wars action figures, but they're clear and they glow in the dark. All right, man. Geeked Up Customs. I saw that you just followed me on Instagram. So yeah, so let's talk, man, for sure. But Bruce has just made these. No, man, you're all good. No, you're all good. No worries, no worries. Hey, this is what the Poindexter Lounge is. We are all family here. We're all a bunch of nerds. And speaking of family, Wicked Steve. Wicked Steve is part of this family, and that's why I got to give a shout out to Wicked Steve, because Wicked Steve sent me this T-shirt. He sent my family a bunch of stuff. He actually, man, he sent some other stuff too, and there's a whole video about it that's coming out. Like I said, right as soon as we're done with this live stream. So thank you. Like we thank you several times, Wicked Steve. But thank you so much, man, for the gifts. You are awesome. You are a great part of this nerd family, and we're grateful to have you here for sure, for sure. But yeah, it looks good, doesn't it? I love it. Mandalorian, baby. And by the way, Steve, I also love the other shirt that you sent me. He sent me a Dodger Stadium shirt, and that's awesome because I am a Dodger fan. Even though I live in Michigan, I am a huge LA Dodger fan, and so you are awesome. That being said, also Marquez though mentioned something, and I want to go ahead and mention this for Marquez. Because Marquez has done some t-shirt designs for us. So in our descriptions for our videos, you guys can find links to our online store. We just released 2 new designs that Marquez did for us. Marquez, I want to do a whole video on you maybe someday as well. Like if we can hook up that way and maybe have a conversation. I know you're in Portugal, so I don't know you know how that would work, but maybe we can figure something out. But man, Marquez has done some great work, guys. If you guys have not yet seen the T-shirts that he has designed. He's designed several. He's actually got one more that I haven't released yet, but it's very much like the logo for the Rise of Skywalker. It says Poindexter Lounge. So if you're just looking for a Poindexter Lounge shirt, phenomenal. They look great. We got the Empire Strikes Back looking one on there that you can find that it says Poindexter Lounge, and it looks like the Empire Strikes Back. We got the new one that'll be coming out that looks like the Rise of Skywalker. I got another friend who made our logos and stuff that we have up, which is just our regular logo. But Marquez also sent me 2 new logos, guys, for hashtag I love Star Wars. Hashtag I love Star Wars. So there's one that just says hashtag I love Star Wars. I have spoken. Remember, we were talking about that in the live stream the other day, and Marquez, man, he was on it, baby. And so he sent me one that just says hashtag I love Star Wars. I have spoken. So you can proudly wear that and show people that you love Star Wars and that you're unashamed of it. And guys, I priced them really well. We're not trying to make a ton of money off of them. I mean, the companies that you do this through, they give you like suggestions or whatever, and like I took about $10-15 off of the suggested prices that they give us. So it's a pretty decent price for a t-shirt or a sweatshirt or anything like that, and you can get all kinds of different. You can get a mug, you can get a phone case with hashtag I love Star Wars, I have spoken. Or if you want our logo on there, if you want our name on there too, we actually have a t-shirt and all the all the items that you can get with that logo on it that actually says Poindexter Lounge. It's more Star Warsy, and it says hashtag I love Star Wars, I have spoken. So I'm excited about that, and I think that you guys should definitely check out Marquez's stuff. But yeah, thank you so much, Marquez. You are awesome, man, for helping out, and I'm very much appreciative of it. And I hope that you guys go pick up some of that stuff, because I tried to price it right, and like I said, I would just love to see you guys. And if you do buy something, hey, take a picture of yourself wearing that, or using that phone case, or drinking a cup of coffee in that mug, or whatever, My throat's a little dry. But it helps out the channel for sure. And, like I said, we appreciate everybody who has come along and been a part of this. But yeah, find Bruce's video here on the channel and support Bruce. And maybe I'll even go back and later when this video is done, I'll put his information down in the description here, where you can find he's got an eBay store where you can buy stuff on eBay, or you can contact him just directly through his Facebook page. And Bruce is great. If you watch that hour-long special, you're going to see a guy who really loves Star Wars, for sure. So yeah, Steve, I saw that you got to go to the special event in Hollywood yesterday and got to see 3 episodes of The Mandalorian, and all I can say is OMG. Oh man, I am so jealous of you right now, Steve. Oh my gosh, how about that ending to The Mandalorian? If you haven't seen it, we won't talk about it now. We did a spoiler review a couple of nights ago. Holy cow. Did not expect that at all. Did not see that one coming at all. But Steve, that's awesome that you got to go to that, man. That is phenomenal. That is really cool that you got those kind of connections out in LA, man. If I get back to LA here in the next couple of years, I'm definitely going to look you up, and maybe we can go to something like that. And I definitely want to go to that Star Wars themed. They think there's a Star Wars themed bar down in Hollywood that I heard about. I can't remember what it's called right now, but I know you've already alluded to it before. But I would love to. Yes, the Green Child. Yes, we'll just leave it at that. I was really ticked off that like all kinds of news websites and stuff were spoiling that, and that was a bummer. That was a real bummer that they did that. But yeah, anyways, guys, I love you all. But yeah, hey, let's talk about those things. NYC Custom. Let's talk about that stuff, and I'll definitely yeah. We'll figure it out. So Caleb's bringing us back on point, and that's what I love about Caleb, because Caleb, Scum and Villainy, that's what it was, Wicked Steve, thank you. So Caleb kind of bringing us back on point here. He says, I'm so excited for Black Adam. I hope that it has the same feel as Shazam. So, Caleb, guys, you guys should know this about Caleb. If you've been around the channel for any amount of time, you guys know that Caleb is a huge DC guy. Caleb has a wealth of knowledge, and I love having Caleb here on the channel and being a part of the Poindexter Lounge, because in our live streams, it's awesome. I mean, like, I pride myself as knowing a lot about DC, but it's great because, like, when we start getting off on fringe stuff, all of a sudden Caleb is just like, boom, man, he is there, and I love that about you, Caleb. So Caleb, you know what? Let's talk about that, because I don't think that the Black Adam movie is going to have the same feel as Shazam. I think it's going to be completely different. In fact, I feel that the Black Adam movie is going to be is going to probably be darker, probably have some more and you guys know what I mean by this, but like adult themes, like not adult themes, you know what I mean, but more grown up, right? More serious, and darker in tone, and whatnot, because I think that it's going to set up for the fact that he was given the powers of Shazam. He used them selfishly, and tried to control everything, and tried to maybe control the world, and use the powers for evil, basically, because he has been that type of character. I know they write him as kind of an anti-hero now, but he always kind of starts off that way, as this villainous kind of person. That's kind of misunderstood. He's doing it for different reasons, and I get that. He's had things happen in his life and whatnot, and he's trying to make those things right. But so in the end, he learns his lesson, and he comes around. But I think that brings it around to Shazam 3, right? Because we're supposed to get a Shazam movie in between the first Shazam movie and the Shazam movie where they bring The Rock as Black Adam into the Shazam movie universe. So I think that this Black Adam movie is going to be its own thing. It's going to stand alone. It's going to be that story that they allude to in the movie Shazam. And then after that, I feel that that's when we're going to get this softer side. Like, he's going to come into the Shazam universe and be that seventh person to sit on that seventh throne, right? And be that, right? So that's what I think. And I think by the time we get to that like Darla said in that deleted scene, they're gonna love him no matter what, and kind of bring him to their way of thinking. But I think he'll always be that kind of outsider who's always kind of stern and stuff, because the rest of them are kids. He is not. So the rest of them are these childlike, people who see the world in a different way, and he is going to be the adult in the room. And can you imagine that, being in a room full of adult children and being the only adult, right? I heard that too, that there are rumors that his movie will have Hawkman as the main antagonist, the hero of the story, but the villain of the movie. Yeah, I heard that. I heard that too, Caleb, and I think that would be cool to introduce Hawkman. I mean, obviously you got all the ancient Egypt mythology stuff that goes on, and Hawkman definitely falls into all that stuff. So I would love to see that. I would love to see that. I hope that they don't go too heavy on making him like the villain of the movie or whatever. Like, I hope that they still show his heroic side, because I didn't really care for Hawkman in Legends of Tomorrow. What did you guys think of him in Legends of Tomorrow? If you watched that, I didn't really care for Hawkman and Hawkgirl in that story, to be quite honest with you. I really liked Hawkman in Smallville. I thought that they did a great job in bringing Hawkman to Smallville. But then I think that costume was on point on Smallville. I'll tell you what, that costume was brilliant. That helmet, oh my gosh! And that you can get me started on the Smallville stuff, but the Dr. Fate costume from Smallville, I don't know how you do a better live action one than that right there. You liked him in Justice League better. You mean the cartoon? I'm assuming you're talking about Hawkman, Russ. But yeah, I just I don't know. What do you think, Caleb? Do you see what I'm saying there, or do you still think that it has a possibility to be lighter tone? I'm interested to hear what you have to say about that, actually, because I just don't see them going with the lighter tone. Yeah, the cartoon, Russ. Yeah, that's what I thought you were talking about. Yeah, no, Hawkman was great on the cartoon. The Justice League cartoon is like part of the best animation that's ever been done in the history of animation. I mean, even though I don't necessarily like the big blocky, you know, art, you know, especially the figures that they made for that stuff. Just, I mean, they had a look of their own and it was fine, but I just didn't care for the look of those figures, to be honest with you. But other than that, uh, great stories, phenomenal stories told. I mean, all throughout the Batman stuff, all the way through the Superman stuff. They got Superman right in tone and everything. It was really great. And then to finally do Justice League and then do Justice League Unlimited, which was like mind-blowingly good. That's just some excellent stuff there. Caleb says, I think it will be darker, but still have that feel of ordinary person gets superpowers. And it'll be this fun romp that goes wrong somewhere. Okay, yeah, I mean, he is a regular guy, but he's got a family. He loses his family, and he gets really, really angry. It's kind of an Anakin Skywalker kind of thing going on there. So, yeah, it'd be interesting to see if that's the way they go with it, I just see him getting angry and like really taking a bunch of people out, and so that's where I think it'll deviate heavily from the Shazam movie. I hope it doesn't go too far, just because I want to be able to one day set those up and like watch all those and go, yeah, this all makes sense together, and not feel like it's like a sore thumb sticking out, because Shazam, that's one of the great things about Shazam, is that Shazam is this lighthearted, very fun, very just good-natured movie, so I really hope that that's what we get. Now, did you guys, I know a lot of you guys came in late to the stream, so did you guys get a chance to read the statement by The Rock? Because The Rock put out an awesome statement that I thought was just phenomenal. He said, like most kids growing up, I dreamed about being a superhero, having cool superpowers, fighting for what's right, and always protecting the people. It all changed for me when I was 10 years old and was first introduced to the greatest superhero of all time, Superman. Big time respect now for Dwayne after that, because I've not been a big fan of The Rock, but I love that right there. That got me right there. He says, as a kid, Superman was the hero I always wanted to be, but a few years into my fantasy, I realized that Superman was the hero I could never be. I was too rebellious, too rambunctious, too resistant to convention and authority. Despite my troubles, I was still a good kid with a good heart. I just liked to do things my way. Now, years later, as a man with the same DNA I had as a kid, my superhero dreams have come true. I'm honored to join the iconic DC universe, and it's a true pleasure to become Black Adam. Like I said earlier, guys, I think that shows his love of the character. He's put a lot into making this thing come to pass, and so yeah, I think it's awesome that he really cares about this character. This has been a character that The Rock has wanted to bring to the screen for a long time, and even producing the Shazam movie and getting Shazam 2 getting going, and now actually seeing Black Adam through to it. Yeah, and the respect to the community. I love that, because like, he's never backed away from DC. Even when DC was catching all kinds of flack for all kinds of stuff, right? Like, he has been true to DC and been respectful, and I love that about him. Caleb just said something here. He says, I'd make Teth Adam and Black Adam played by different actors. Teth Adam should be in his 20s, very awkward, a new dad, but when he becomes Black Adam, who's much older, he's self-assured and powerful. Probably, but I doubt that they'll do that, man. I don't think that they'll do that. They may use some kind of de-aging technology, or you know how it is. I mean, de-aging technology, or make him, you know, look a little different, you know, before he gets his powers or whatever. But I think that they'll probably just leave him in that role. I mean, it's that same thing like when we every time we saw Arnold Schwarzenegger in the 80s and 90s portray a family man, you know, when we all know that like the average person doesn't look like that, right? Like, you know, here you got this guy who's super buff, talks with an Austrian accent. You know, I mean, because Arnold didn't even try. You know, he didn't even try to to hide that, and so it was kind of funny sometimes. You know, especially when he's in like these family movies with a kid and a mom, and everybody, you know, is just, you know, I don't know, Americanized, you know, to the max, and he's like this big, huge, buff, strong guy. But I think unfortunately that's probably what we'll end up seeing in this as well. But you know, I could definitely be wrong. It'd be interesting if they cast somebody different and then somehow explained like why he looked different. I wouldn't necessarily have a problem with it. It would just be like they would have to cast the right person. So who do you cast as a younger, more naive Dwayne Johnson? I guess that's the question. Um, and I don't know. I can't think of anybody off the top of my head that I would do that with. But you know, it's cool. It's cool. Hey, you know what, guys? I've realized something. Brock is going to play Black Adam. Hope he plays him good. Dave, yeah, Dave, welcome, man. We definitely will. They could de-age and debuff him, yeah, and a la Captain America: The First Avenger, and that's what I think. Yeah, that's what I was going with, Caleb. That's what I think they're gonna do, probably with that character instead of like hiring somebody else to play Teth. I think that they'll do just that. You know what, guys? I have totally forgotten, and I apologize to you all. You know, we do giveaways here on the channel, and I don't know how I don't, I don't know how I forgot about this. But like, I got a ton of stuff to give away on the channel, and we just haven't done it. I've got that Flash action figure that we've been looking to give away, and I've completely forgot in the videos that I've been making to bring up that Flash action figure, because that's the giveaway for now. And I don't know. So you guys all know those Savage World action figures that are like the old He-Man action figures. I just thought about it because I was thinking about Arnold Schwarzenegger and Conan the Barbarian, and then somehow, you know, with DC and stuff, and thinking about that whole thing, if for somehow it got me back to that. And so we have the Flash action figure from Savage World to give away, and I've got giveaways for like the next little while here. We got some Star Wars related giveaways that we'll be giving away next month for Rise of Skywalker. But I will say this: if you guys are interested in, yeah, right, He-Man, new He-Man cartoon coming soon too. And I really hope that they don't put that new He-Man thing on Netflix. He-Man needs to be a movie, not a Netflix. That's just, it's not right. Not a Netflix movie, regular movie. But anyways, so guys, make sure that if you guys are interested in that figure, if you want the figure, right, then please let me know, because then I will enter you into the drawing for that. So there's new figures coming out. I've got all the Super 7 the movie figs. Oh, from Masters of the Universe, the old movie. I did see those. Oh my gosh, I saw those. Those look cool. For a movie that's like kind of pretty cheesy. I'll say this. It's a guilty pleasure of mine, to be quite honest with you. The only thing that I have against Masters of the Universe is one, that it all takes place on Earth instead of instead of that. The only reason I haven't, ordered those guys is because I've spent way too much money on Star Wars stuff this last month or two with Triple Force Friday. Like, I've gotten every Black Series figure that they've released, and I got to be careful how far I push Tiff-tastic sometimes, I mean, and Tiff is great. Tiff is awesome. Tiff collects as well. She collects female figure superheroes and stuff like that. She's got a bunch of Masters of the Universe stuff. Actually, when we got married, she actually had a whole bag of Masters of the Universe toys, which is awesome, from when she was a kid. So, but there's stuff like that I would love to have, right? And it's not on the priority list, I guess, but there's all kinds of stuff, man. It's like my dream is to have that Star Wars Data East pinball machine. I don't know if you guys saw it. It was kind of a joke, but not really. Kind of, like wink, wink. A guy here locally, about 10 minutes from me, actually had the machine, and usually the machine goes for $5,000 to $7,000, and the guy had it for $3,200, and everybody was because I don't have $3,200 to just go out and buy it. I wish I did, but he said, but somebody told me, they said, hey, you know what? Put out a GoFundMe thing. I did. Nobody's given to it. I don't think anybody cares about my plight of not getting the Data East pinball machine. And they just released also the Star Wars arcade game. Those little one-up arcade games, which actually looks pretty cool, and I would really love that, and that's $500. Yeah, right, NYC. You know what? Like, I really wanted to get that one, and I wanted to put that one into layaway, and Tiffany told me I could put it into layaway, but the problem with that is that, like, I was going to do it at Walmart, but their layaway, you got to have it out by the 9th of December, and I mean, that gives you, what, 3 weeks or whatever, but so, but the Masters of the Universe thing, the Masters of the Universe thing is pretty cool, and that's really cool that that they're actually making figures of that. But yeah, but if you guys are interested in the Flash Savage World figure, make sure you do this for me. Go ahead and just let me know that you want the figure, right? And so I will put you guys in for that figure, and then we'll have a giveaway at the end of the month. Looks like Arigato. Yes, there's going to be a Black Adam movie. It comes out December of 2021 is when it comes out. It's December of 2021, starring Dwayne "The Rock" Johnson as Black Adam. And yes, it will definitely connect with the Shazam universe. So this has been something that Dwayne "The Rock" Johnson's been wanting to do for quite a while. And so yeah, well, they're going to start filming it this summer. They've announced that they're filming it this summer, and so they're going to it'll come out then the following Christmas. So we're all excited about it. I mean, I'm excited to see it. I'm excited to see what he does in that character, what he does with that material, right? So, but yeah, guys, I'll start doing better to announce the giveaways. You know what? Like we used to have a giveaway pretty much one a month, and I apologize because that was my mistake. I should have been talking about that giveaway, and I have forgotten. So I apologize for that, guys, because we definitely want to give that stuff away. What are your thoughts on The Mandalorian? So we did a whole. Dave, did you not catch our whole review of The Mandalorian? We did a spoiler review. I won't get into spoilers now, just because I think that seeing the shirt, yeah, Wicked Steve got me this, and very proud of it. It's pretty awesome. That's all right, man. You can go back and find it. So I will just say this, without getting into spoilers, obviously, because there's some people who still have not seen it, and I'm excited for Star Wars. I'm excited for the second episode that comes out tomorrow. That being said, I I think it's awesome. I loved it. I absolutely loved it. There's people talking about, oh, it was boring. What? We've literally gotten to a place, I think, in our world where like we have such short attention spans that it's like you can't go 30 minutes. It's like the whole thing from beginning to end is like 39 minutes, right? Uh, you're gonna tell me you can't go 30 minutes to see something slowly progress to set up a show? But for the most part, everybody's loved it. Everybody has really reacted well to it. That ending is on fire, and it's so gentle. That's what I love about it. They set up the Mandalorian to be such this hard nose throughout the whole thing, and he's just just taking people out and stuff. And then at the end, man, he's got that moment, right? And you guys know that moment where he's reaching out. Um, so yeah, so if you have not, Trekkies say it's boring. You know what, Dave? I will tell you this, man. After seeing what they've done with the Mandalorian now, I mean, I was already on board for Kenobi, but now, man, take my money, sign me up, man. I'm already signed up. I'm gonna be there for Kenobi because if they do that well with unknown uh, characters, what are they going to do? It's going to be so much better even with having that nostalgic part of it where you see Ewan McGregor once again as Obi-Wan Kenobi. I can't wait. I think it's going to be great. But yeah, The Mandalorian, phenomenal. If you have not seen this, if you are on if you are on the fence about signing up for uh, Disney Plus. I'm not even a huge Disney guy, guys. Like, I'm not even this huge Disney person. Like, I don't have to watch all the Disney movies or whatever, but there is so much content on there. Like I was saying earlier, I've almost gotten through, uh, uh, I've almost gotten through all of season 1 of The Simpsons this week because it's just been so long since I've actually watched The Simpsons, and to rewatch some of those classic episodes are just amazing. And we were joking about trying to binge all 30 years, but the way that I'm going through it, man, I may get through all 30 seasons of The Simpsons before it's all over. I don't know. I mean, I did, 9 seasons of The Office a couple months ago, and if you really put it to it and just watch one right after the other, you can get through it pretty much. What did I see here? John Collins. What's up, John Collins? Welcome. Which Christopher Reeve movie, Superman, is the best quality? Which Christopher Reeve Superman is the best quality? So, Christopher Reeve, it's debatable. It's debatable because you're always going to have Superman the movie. Superman the movie is the movie that changed everything, right? I mean, that's the movie, that's the pinnacle movie that everybody tries to attain to, right? They all want to be like Superman the movie because Superman the movie set this bar that is still there for comic book movies. Times may have changed, things may have changed, CGI may have changed, as opposed to using physical little pieces and whatever. But I'm telling you right now, that movie is still the benchmark by which you mark all other superhero movies that have come after it. That being said, as much as I love Superman the movie, which Superman movie do I get the most enjoyment out of watching? And I can watch over and over and over and over again until the day that I die? Superman 2. So, and not the Donner version, the original theatrical Richard Lester version of Superman 2. I know that's not. I mean, when the Donner version came out, people were like, saying, "Oh, the Donner version's so much better." I don't see that the Donner version is so much better. First of all, and you may, and that's fine. I respect that opinion. I don't see that it's so much better, and plus, it's not finished. So, as cool as I think it is to see, like, because they had to finish some of the scenes that they didn't actually shoot. you know, for the movie, uh, you have to, it takes you out of the movie because all of a sudden you're watching a regular movie and you're watching Clark and Lois at Niagara Falls, and then all of a sudden it goes to another shot of them that is from their practice takes, their, you know, their auditions and stuff, because those are the scenes that were supposed to be in it originally, but they go to this and it's like them on just like this little set, you know, and obviously the everything's different, the costumes are different, everything's different, the setting is different, and it just takes me out of it, and I can't get into it, that I just can't stay into it. Plus if you watch it that way, it doesn't really make any sense, because originally Superman 2 had a different ending. The ending to Superman 2 was supposed to be the ending to Superman 1. What ended up being the ending to Superman 1, where he flies back around in time and turns everything back, that was supposed to be the ending to Superman 2. So when you watch the Donner version of Superman 2, that's how it ends, with him flying back around. Well, now if you watch uh, uh, if you watch Superman the movie, and then you watch the Donner version of Superman 2, it has the exact same ending. So it doesn't work. You know, it doesn't work that way. So, you know, so I look at the Donner version as something that's cool to see, it's cool to have. I definitely own it, but it's not canon to me. You know, for some people that's what they choose. They think it's so much better. I just don't. You know, I think that it's good. It is what it is, but it's not that big of a deal to me. So for me, if I'm talking cinematic wise and like its importance in film, Superman the movie. If I'm talking about what I just love and have loved ever since I was a little kid and cannot get enough of, Superman 2. So I know it's kind of a long way to saying that, but that's what it is. You know, I love Christopher Reeve, and thank you, Dave of Steel, for getting his name right. You know, a lot of people get that wrong. They call him Reeves. And it's a pet peeve, and I know it's probably not that big of a deal in the bigger scheme of things, but my name's Enosh, and a lot of people get my name wrong all the time, and so I'm sensitive to that. And the fact that George Reeves played Superman, you know, it's different. There was George Reeves, Christopher Reeve. And so a lot of people get that wrong. So I try not to be the grammar police about it, but, you know, just try to help people know that maybe don't know that. And sometimes people just don't know it. You know, they think that his name was Reeves. But his name was Christopher Reeve. Now, I will say this. As much as I love Christopher Reeve, and always will, rest in peace, and feel that, I mean, he was the Superman of my childhood. He is what inspired me to love Superman. That being said, I gotta say, Henry Cavill is a worthy successor to that. And I feel probably the most worthy in his portrayal, in his love of the character, because he has such a love of the character. And that's what we talked about with Dwayne Johnson, loving the character of Black Adam and really wanting to bring this to the screen and everything. Henry Cavill has such a love for Superman, guys. He has such a love for that character, and so much. It's not just a job to him. It's not just something he's portraying on a screen. He loves portraying Superman. He understands the responsibility of being Superman, and I respect that, man. I definitely respect that about Henry Cavill, for sure. But you know, I'll be honest with you. So I've got to meet now 3 people who played the character. I got to meet Dean Cain, I got to meet Tom Welling, and I got to meet Brandon Routh. And I almost got to meet Henry Cavill. And obviously, I won't ever get the chance to meet Christopher Reeve, unfortunately. But I will say this. Out of the 3 that I've met, all 3 understood what it means to be Superman, which I think is very important. They all treated everyone that they met with absolute respect and just care. And I think that's great that they actually get it, right? Tom Welling is really that tall. Tom Welling made me look like a little kid, and I'm 6'1.5". And I got pictures with Tom Welling, and Tom Welling made me look short, just straight up short. So yeah, Dean Cain is about my height. Brandon Routh maybe a little bit taller than me as well. But he's not overpoweringly taller than me. But man, the picture that we have with Tom Welling, and I'll say this about Tom Welling. Tom Welling, for what he played for 10 seasons on Smallville, you can't take that away from him. I don't like hearing people diss Tom Welling uh, because Tom Welling did a great job with what he was given. Yeah, he wasn't meant to play Superman, like as Superman, but I still say that he's did a great job. And you know who else did a really great job as Superman that I don't think gets enough credit? Gerard Christopher. I know he played Superboy, but really he played Superman. Let's be honest here. I mean, he actually got the role of Superman in Lois and Clark: The New Adventures of Superman, and they took it away from him because he had already played uh, uh, Superboy. He came in, did the audition. They said, "You're perfect for this. You got the look. You understand the character. You do the whole thing." They gave him the job, and then they went back and looked at his resume, and they went, "Oh, wait a second. You've already played this character." So they took it away from him, and Dean Cain ended up getting the job. That's how Dean Cain got the job. That's just crazy to me. But because otherwise we would all be sitting here still talking about Gerard Christopher, and I wish Gerard Christopher would go do more Comic Cons and talk about his experience as Superboy, because he did a phenomenal job, guys, with what he was given, and he looked really good in that Christopher Reeve-esque suit that they had him in those last 3 seasons of Superboy. For sure. You know what? Yeah, Dave, I definitely will, man. I mean, we've got a video of us the year that we went to the Motor City Comic Con. If you look up any of our Comic Con videos, Motor City Comic Con videos, I believe the pictures are in there. But yeah, I may post one in the community page or on our Facebook page or Instagram or something like that. I definitely post one because I love that, man. We got some great pictures with Dean Cain too. Dean Cain was awesome. Dean Cain stood up for us, man. His handlers didn't want to let him take a picture with more than 3 people, and we got all the way up there. It was right before Batman versus Superman came out, so Logan was wearing a Batman shirt, and Dean just started talking to him about it, like, oh, we got to fight in this next movie, but it's okay, we'll be friends afterwards. And then when he found out that Landon's middle name was Jor-El, he thought that was super cool and started joking with him and stuff. Was like, "Oh, you're my dad," and everything. And he's like, they started talking and everything. Well, then we went to get the picture, and the thing was, it was like $40, right, to get a picture with Dean. And when we went up there, they said only 3 people could get a picture. There's 5 of us, and we've got a whole family. Like, why wouldn't the whole family be able to get in the picture with Dean Cain? And the lady said no. Lady said, if you want everybody in there, you got to pay for it twice. And I said, well, I'm not paying $80 to get a picture with all of us for Dean Cain. I'm just not going to do that. But not a snapshot. I mean, they got the professional photos. We actually got the professional photo with Tom Welling and with Brandon Routh. But at the time, like, I had not set that up, and you got to set that up ahead of time at the Comic-Con and everything. And so we hadn't done that with Dean. And so I said, well, the boys said, you know what, guys? Said that was your Superman. That, go ahead and get a picture with him. So we went up to do that, and after all the talking with the boys and everything, he said, all right, is we doing a picture and stuff? And we said, yeah. And so Tiffany and I went back to get our picture with him, and he says, wait a second, isn't everybody going to get in this? And I told him, I said, well, we wanted to. I said, but the lady said that only, up to 3 of us could, and so we couldn't just pick one of the boys. So the boys said for the adults to do it. Dean stopped what he was doing, walked over to the lady, looked at her, and just said, don't ever do that again. Turned around, came back, said, we're taking a picture. Ended up taking like 5, 6, 7, 8 shots with us, acting funny, doing funny stuff. I've got a Superman tattoo. I've got the S shield right here on my arm. And we did that classic pose, from the old TV series where, he always had that on there and stuff with him and Lois. And it was so much fun. He was such a great guy. And then we met John Schneider, who was right next to him, and they share the same manager. And it was funny because when we were waiting for John Schneider, his manager was like, "Have you met Dean? Dean is just such a great guy, isn't he?" Just funny stuff. You know what? So Dave, I'll have to disagree with you here, man. I love you, Dave, but I got to disagree with you here and just say I'm sorry. We don't need a new Superman. We need a Man of Steel 2. We need Henry Cavill to be given the Superman movie that Henry Cavill deserves. Henry Cavill has done what has been asked of him. He went through the whole thing. He played the character in that arc, you know, that got him from being the confused Clark Kent that was having to deal with, you know, the alienation and all that stuff. And I love that part of the story. Trust me, I love that because I think Man of Steel is a phenomenal movie. But we had to see him then in Batman versus Superman kind of be this down and kind of dour character, which I understand that there are stories where he's like that, so I was fine with that. We didn't get a lot of him in Justice League, but what we got of him in Justice League was actually really good. It was really good Superman. I feel like, yeah, but Dave, that hasn't been confirmed. They have never confirmed that Henry Cavill dropped that. And pretty much, that wasn't him dropping that. That was the studio dropping that. The studio has told him that, and then, see, that's the problem that I have with Warner Brothers. For God's sake, Warner Brothers, they don't know what they want to do with these characters. They've got all of us fans out here going, we want Man of Steel 2. We want more Superman. So what do? They go, no, we don't have that. Well, you know what? That may be true, Dave, that he asked for too much money because he does have the same manager as the Rock. Actually, he has the Rock's ex-wife as his manager. And I get it if he thinks that he wanted to, if they think that he wanted too much money. I get that. But and he thought he was too big of a star. But you know what? I've known a lot of people who've met him and spent time with him. Actually spent real time with him. And they tell a totally different story about what Henry Cavill is about. They tell a totally different story about what he's like as a person, you know, how he respects others and everything. And so I just don't know what to believe with those stories, to be quite honest with you. I mean, and plus the way that Henry has shown that he really wants to play the character still. He has still said that he wants to play this character. That it's basically up to DC what they want to do and what they end up doing. I really don't want to see them recast Superman because for the first time, Henry Cavill was the first time that Superman looked like Superman to me. A lot of great people have played him. Even I mean, now I will say this: Christopher Reeve looked like Superman, but I'm talking about like comic book Superman, like buff. Like he took his his shirt off, and it was like, whoa, that guy looks like a man. That guy looks like a Superman, right? And so, I think that Henry deserves to have a good Superman or Man of Steel 2 movie where he's able to play the Superman that we all know and love and know that he can play. And I guess that's what. Speaking of Superman, I'm going to give you guys one little thing here, and then I got to get going. Let me show you guys a little something. So this is my office. A lot of you know that I'm a pastor. I'm a worship pastor, so I play music, and I also do a lot more with our church as well. I head up all of our hospitality groups, so our ushers, greeters. We have valet for our older guests, for our seniors, and our security teams and stuff. So I head that up. But also check this out. I started this Nerds. It's a group that I put together here at our church that we're going to do things like go to Comic-Cons, go see Star Wars, have fun together and stuff. We're going to do a community project where we go out into our community and we help out some people who are less fortunate than us and do some things. And so that's something that I put together. I thought you guys would get a kick out of that. And then I will show you this. So it got cold here in Michigan. And so check this out. For those of you who didn't see it last year, check out, talking about Superman. So I have two other Superman coats, right? But because I lost all this weight, they didn't fit anymore. But now I got this one, and because the other ones are 2X and 3X, and check that out. Got the little zipper there. And so they're 2X and 3X, and can't wear them anymore. And so I ended up selling the one leather jacket that had a big S on the back, and then I still have a racing jacket that's a 2X. It's just too big on me, but it's awesome. It's black and it's silver. It's got a big silver S on the back. It's got like it's got a silver S right here, and it's got all kinds of Superman related imagery and stuff like that. But I've taken you guys on a tour of the house, but you should know that my nerddom exists here at work as well. Now, so all this stuff back here behind me, and this is the ironic part of doing the video this way, because all this stuff back here behind me, that's somebody else. Somebody else shares my office with me, and but they're never here, and so that's their stuff, right? So I will just show you my side of the office. All right, you can definitely tell which side is my side, because right over here I got my my Batman versus Superman poster. I don't know if any of you guys were Petra fans. Petra was my favorite band growing up. I actually got to play guitar for John Schlitt, who was the lead singer of Petra, and I got to do a whole summer of touring with him, and that's awesome. This is my band, Waking Vegas. Imagine that, huh? A little inspired there. Here's our album and stuff. We're a little comic book inspired. That's why the album is called The Adventures of Waking Vegas. You can actually find us on iTunes, Spotify, most of the streaming services and all that stuff. You can find that. And we got some videos on here. We got a song called Heroes that is actually inspired by some things that Brandon Routh says in Superman Returns. And speaking of Superman Returns, check it out right there. Even though it's not my favorite Superman movie, after I met the man, I had to get the poster. And I got the poster for like $1, right? So I'm going to take you to the smaller stuff first. So here's just a bookshelf. I got, you know, a couple things up here. I got a couple of cool little trinkets here. But here's where the cool stuff is. One of my favorite posters right here. Being a musician and a Star Wars fan, I've always loved this. Had a t-shirt for a while with this imagery on it. And then here's my stuff just from work. So speaking of Christopher Reeve, we're talking about Christopher Reeve here. You can see the Christopher Reeve picture here. Got post-it notes on there. But got the Star Wars posters there. And then here's my Superman stuff here from just at work. So I got a signed comic back there by Dan Jurgens, which my drummer, my best friend, Aaron got me. Got a bunch of Lego guys there. Got the Christopher Reeve Superman mini action figure there. And then, of course, the bigger one, too. See if we can get it in the picture there. I have all the Superman glasses. Whoops, where is it? Right there. Got all the Superman glasses from the movies there. Then there's just a bunch of like little Lego guys here, like all different pop culture stuff. You got the Flash, there. You got Shazam, right? Jay Garrick. Just different characters there. Bunch of Superman characters. The Wonder Twins, Rocky, Mr. T, Voltron, Back to the Future. Got a bunch of G.I. Joe stuff right here. There's talking He-Man earlier. Got a couple little He-Man guys back there. Got the Rebirth Superman right there. A couple little Star Trek trinkets. I got some cool Stranger Things up there. Another little Superman. Wicked Steve, there's my LA Dodger guy right there. Some pop vinyls there. Some different stuff. Weird Al Yankovic, I love him. Back to the Future. Mr. Rogers, Superman. Got this Boba Fett from the holiday special. And then I just got a couple little things, Star Wars stuff. You guys have seen the house where I got all the Star Wars stuff at the house. But I love this this Boba Fett here. It's a cool Boba Fett. Got a plate. These are the extra Black Series figures that I take out of the box. And just some stuff there, just some random little stuff that I've got here at work. So that's what I surround myself with, and that's what I just I'm inspired by. You know, it inspires me. It keeps me going. you know, and everybody knows it too. This is our staff. You can see there my picture. This one of our staff people drew this, and you can see me down here in the corner with my guitar. And of course, what is that I'm wearing? Yep, you guessed it, Superman stuff. So everybody knows it. I proudly wear that nerd badge, and I think it's okay, and I'll forever be that. Does your church do or have live stream? Yes, John Collins. My church does have live stream. 11 a.m. Eastern Standard Time every Sunday morning. You can go to centralnazarene.com and we live stream right from there. Also, if you find us on Facebook, the live stream is up there as well on our Facebook page, which is just Flint Central Nazarene, Flint Central Church of the Nazarene. If you look that up, you can find us on there. Da, 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 da. I know, man. I got friends now from all over. That's what I love about the nerddom, man, and about the Poindexter Lounge, right? Is that you know, we get friends from all over the place, man. I think we'd get along too, Dave. Whereabouts are you, Dave? Um, so Geeked Up Customs says, "Got to post my stuff. You have good stuff as well. I'm in the army and getting out in April and moving into my new house. So when I get out, I will push for my own channel as well. Do it, man. Absolutely, do it. Absolutely. New York, Lockport, New York. That's awesome, man. You're not too far away. You're not too far away. You know, that's like a 12 to 15 hour drive. Watertown, New York. Wow, welcome guys. Welcome. New York is one of those places I want to get to. New York. I've never been to the state of New York. Um, Closest I've been is Niagara Falls, and actually I might have been when I was a baby, but I don't remember it. One of my things is Tiffany and I want to plan a trip actually to New York City because I would love to go to New York City. I would love to experience that because I've been to most major places. Uh, oh, that'd be awesome. I'd love to go to New York Comic Con one day. That would be phenomenal. That would be so much fun. Because I was born in Las Vegas, um, Chattanooga, Tennessee, Russ. That's awesome, man. You're not too far away either. You can see we're all within, a day. We could just have a great big old Poindexter Lounge meetup somewhere. I would say Ohio, but do we really want to go to Ohio? I don't think so. But anyway, I'm just messing. Just messing. I got a lot of good friends in Ohio, but I'm from Michigan, so I got to say that. But um, no, I want to. Like I said, I've been around most major cities. I was in a touring band in my 20s and stuff, and so I traveled all over the place, but I never got to New York City. Never seen New York City or Boston. I want to see Boston as well, and so I'd love to go to like uh, a Red Sox game because I'd just love to go to Fenway, and see that. But yeah, you know what? Who knows? Maybe one day we'll all have to get together and have some fun. And definitely, if I'm ever going out that way, now I know I got an LA connection with Wicked Steve. I was just out in LA, and the thing is you know what? You never know because last year I was out in LA for almost a week for a convention or for a conference, and you know what? If I had known Wicked Steve back then, man, Wicked Steve and I would have definitely hit it up and and had some fun, man. And I would have had him taking me to all the cool places, right? So it's all good, man. I just got back from Seattle and met some new friends in Seattle and stuff. And so, you know what? We just share the love, man. Spread the love all the time here in the Poindexter Lounge, and you guys make the Poindexter Lounge such a great place. So thank you guys for coming along this journey with us and just supporting us. We appreciate all your support and watching our videos and just having fun with us because that's what we're all about here is just having some fun and nerding out because that's okay. With everybody taking everything so seriously nowadays, I like to tell everybody it's all right. Take a deep breath and just like things. It's okay. It's all right. it won't be the end of the world, right? Well, hey guys, I got to get going. I got to get home to my family, speaking of which. Plus, I got to get the next Mark Uno video finished. I've got it all recorded and stuff. I gotta edit it. So, and Mark doesn't want to do that stuff by himself. I wish he would, because it'd be really helpful if Mark could edit his own videos instead of doing them and then sending them to me. All right, guys. Thank you, guys. Have a great night. Keep it nerdy, guys. Keep being nerdy. Keep the nerddom and the nerd love going, all right? Until next time, I'm Enosh Vet. I feel like I should say something Superman related, but it's a Black Adam video. So, and I don't know, like, what would Black Adam say? I'll tell you what he would say. It's not Black Adam, but if you smell what The Rock is cooking. Bye, guys.